Hey everybody, welcome back. So off screen I did a little bit of work on mostly just dot mapping. I went through and labeled every single enemy city that I could see, both in Germany and in Spain, because I want to have everything planned out ahead of time for when I end up conquering. This is all subject to change, of course. You'll also see that I put my overlay thing on a bunch of my own cities. I did that specifically so that I can remember what cities still need some tile improvements, so I have one of those overlays on every city that doesn't have all of its tile improvements yet, just as a reminder to myself. I think we want to conquer Germany soon. However, before we actually do it, we already know that they're ahead of us a lot in technology. I really want to get someone up there to scout them out. Now, as a double check here, we do have open borders, right? Yes, we have open borders, as it's not on the list there. So I'm actually going to take no mounted units. So we'll just go ahead and take a swordsman. And we're just going to start scouting their lands a little bit to get an idea of what they have for defenses and where. Okay, so they've got longbowmen and crossbowmen there, and macemen. So already, they're looking scary for technology.
All the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts.
I actually really need to go hardcore into military. So let's get... Actually, you know what, this city's never going to have the production to be able to keep up like that. So let's give it food instead so it can continue to work those high commerce tiles. Also, I did queue up a bunch of technologies. I don't remember if I mentioned that, so we do have engineering next, because I want trebuchets. I'm really worried about this war with Germany, actually, because I'm sure I can outproduce them just fine. The issue is that they're so ahead in technology that our units are going to have a hard time with them. We could probably squeeze out passable production on here, as long as we let it grow, and use that as a temporary launching point for our war, which I think I'm going to have to do. So we're actually going to get a barracks going until to produce units after, and as it grows, that'll become less horrible. Yeah, get those... Oh, we already had people there too, okay. Whatever, get the cottages up. So, I definitely want to mass-produce units a little bit more before we get started. Between episodes, I also went ahead and checked my top 5 cities and wonders in the world, and found that our capital is actually considered the second best city in the world. What I also found through this is that Berlin... Oops. Berlin has a lot of world wonders. So I really want to take Berlin, get those wonders. I also really want to take Cologne, as that's not only the holy city of Taoism, but it has the wonder of Taoism too, so that could potentially generate a lot of revenue for us. That's why I've labeled that one as a commerce city, when I might be able to make it into a somewhat crap production one. You know what, commerce probably would have been the best idea there anyway. Honestly, Germany's land isn't great, it's Berlin that's great. Berlin is an amazing city spot. I want a theater there because it's right on the border, and we're going to have some push there. So I am genuinely a bit concerned about a war with Spain during my war with Germany. They really could come at us at any point. They're pleased with us and have a huge modifier with us, but they're not friendly, which is a level above pleased. And Isabella is one of the leaders who is willing to plan a war even while pleased. She's kind of a backstabber that way. God, we have more culture problems there, even though we just finished the theater. We really, really need culture there. So, do what you can. They actually have surprisingly very few units defending their cities, it seems. Longbowmen may... Oh, come on. Oh, that place. Okay. Yeah, they've got very few units in any given city. I could steamroll them, and it wouldn't be too hard to steamroll them. They've got superior units, that's for sure, but my units do have a lot of promotions. I mean, I've got, if we check my civics here, we do have vassalage and theocracy. And if we check, is it F6? No, F7, that was it. We can check our Buddhism chart here and see that Buddhism, our state religion, which gives us our synergy with theocracy of giving us extra experience in our units. We've got Buddhism in every single city, so that's nice. I don't feel like we really need to scout anymore, so we're going to have him start running back. And things are going to get slowed down a lot for just moving workers, of course, as it often does. Also, I apologize if my chair's extra squeaky today. My chair's been really bringing down. It's what I get for buying as cheap of a good quality chair as I can. It was hell to put together and nothing fits quite right, so it's squeaky. But it is comfortable, and it was about $150 cheaper than a good version of this. Office chairs are expensive, folks. Let's go ahead and just spend the money on that. Also, we have no one good at protecting our military capital, which is an awful, awful shame. We also really need more production over here. Yeah, do that, game. We really should be whipping this area more. They still can't forget our cruel oppression of, I remember one time, at least, we went really gung-ho on the whipping. You know, this would actually be a great place for global theater. I don't remember what technology unlocks that, though. I want to say music oh, no. We just need more theaters? Well, we might actually get global theater there soon then, because that could really increase our military production. You know what, that's actually an idea I've never had. And I bet you that sounds really stupid. I bet you a lot of higher-ranking players than me. That's probably actually a common thing now that I think about it. Global theater in your most whip-happy city? It seems natural. Global theater gets rid of unhappiness, so why wouldn't you do that in the place where you're going to whip the most? We can remove that for now. And we can go ahead and start working on these hill tiles. This is a great person factory. We already have a mine, although we could kind of use a second mine, but I'm thinking probably a windmill, just for the food. You know what, maybe a mine is a better idea, because it's going to have a lot of food anyway, so having a little bit of production there isn't going to hurt. It's only going to help. And we can get another longbowman there. Defend. Sorry, where was I getting? I was getting that there. Okay. Do I have a theater in there? I do not have a theater in there. I really should get a theater in there at some point. I'd like to have a theater in every city that borders another country. And we're going to be bordering the Byzantine Empire right here the entire game, so I might as well. We can go ahead and also start on production down here. Let's actually get on that tile right there, we'll get a watermill going, because a watermill doesn't get rid of any food on the tile, which makes it a bit more of an attractive tile to work. Yeah. And later that'll also generate money, commerce. I believe it's with electricity you start generating commerce out of watermills.
Achieved perfection. Not when there is nothing left to add, but when there is nothing left to take away.
I think I would rather have the extra production, and I might change that later. I should actually check my military advisor. F5, I always forget some of those ones I don't check as often. How many workers do we have? I'm totally blind. 4! I only have 4 workers for 8 cities? I really need to step up my game on that. And we're an expansive leader. There's no excuse, really. I mean, we make workers extra quickly. I've been playing offline a little bit with China, actually, specifically with Mao Zedong, which is generally considered a weak leader, I believe, and I completely believe it. Protective is kind of a weak trait, and expansive, it's not bad, it has synergy with it, but I've always thought of synergy as kind of a weaker trait, and I think that more recently I've been discovering I don't really want horseback riding, I don't have horses. It's a little late, too, to make a whole lot of, well, it's never late to make use out of that, I guess, like, cavalry is good and stuff, but I don't feel like it would aid me right now. Oh, geez, what was I saying? Oh, I can cut that down. Nope, completely lost my own train of thought. Oh, right, expansive trait. the expansive trait I used to think was kind of weak, but I've been realizing more and more that it's actually quite nice, because getting those workers out that much faster and getting your granaries up that much faster so early in the game, I mean, it's like I said before, if you do really well in the early game, that tends, as long as you don't fuck up, it tends to translate to doing really well in the entire game. That early advantage is hard to take away from you as long as you keep a good eye on it. So, Expansive really does give you a big advantage early on. You have extra healthiness, which helps the entire game, especially late game, I find.
I cannot live without books.
And having very quick granaries, and very quick granaries and very quick workers. That's amazing for your economy early on. A high population and a lot of workers to work your tiles. So yeah, I'm actually really happy with that. I should be whipping more. I'm getting lazy. Let's actually get a theater out. It's going to grow there. Yeah, let's get a theater out. Yeah, you just keep doing your thing for now. I'm getting pretty close to wanting to do this war. As you can see, we're really overtaking Germany in relative strength. You don't want to do that trade anymore? I think Spain is starting to pull out a little bit on their friendship with me, which is probably because they've determined that they could probably conquer me, and they probably can. I mean, their country's massive. Their country is absolutely massive. They could potentially outproduce me a ridiculous degree. That is both in commerce and by proxy science, as well as straight production. They could raise a very powerful army very, very quickly in comparison to Germany and I combined. They've got a lot of land and a lot of very good land. I am no match for Spain right now. Military might-wise, we're fairly equal. I bet you my army is better trained than theirs because of my trait synergy. Although I bet you she has theocracy as well, now that I think about it, because I believe that's her favorite trait. Yeah, she has got theocracy, and it is her favorite trait. Okay. She also has bureaucracy, which I am still on barbarism, mostly because I haven't wanted to switch over yet. Although it's hard to argue that barbarism is any better than bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is generally a lot better, as long as you can afford the extra cost. But honestly, since most capital cities are going to be a commerce city anyway, it kind of covers its own cost. Really, in the end, you just come out with more production, which is always nice. I'm pretty sure I've seen online some really cool builds with bureaucracy. Really interesting things you can do with it. So it looks like they are building up stuff on their border, because they realize that I'm kind of a threat here. I'm clearly building up to fight them. I mean, I'm making no effort to hide that. Just go ahead and have them both there. I actually want a longbowman up there next time I get a chance, which will be next turn. And I actually do want to do one whip there, just to get that Buddhist temple out. Because I really need more culture in this border city here. It seems to be the one that gets swallowed up a lot. It will be commerce, so I will get a bit out of the monastery, although it's a little late for a monastery. I'm the kind of guy who doesn't build monasteries very often, unless I'm playing a heavily religious game, or a culture game. In a culture game, a monastery is very important. Because it's a potential large amount of culture throughout the game, as well as, what is it? A lot of culture in the game, doubles, of course, after 1,000 years, so you can get it early, and it helps you spread your religion, which religion tends to be a big part of culture victories. So we cannot actually spread, oh no, we can spread farms over there because they spread diagonally, that's right. But do I want to spread farms over there? I think I might actually wait for lumber mills for now and leave that city as is. And we'll start working on that more. But at the same time, that's mostly plains. We have a... Is that a floodplain right there? No, it's a forest plain. It's just very close to a floodplain. Okay. Well, we can actually do something with some of those tiles, so we'll send some people up. I'm going to go ahead and change that waypoint. And once again, go back and make you forget your waypoint because I want to manually distribute those. Whew, I really don't have enough workers. I could have gotten this land at some kind of optimal level much sooner had I just made more workers. I feel like that's a common rookie mistake, honestly, is not making nearly enough workers. He's got caravels going around, and I don't know if they've got boarding parties or not. Somehow Well, right, it's galleons that can actually carry military. Caravels aren't going to carry anything dangerous. Although they can carry spies, but chances are he's got those to find new lands. I think we're about ready for this war, honestly. I don't have as many upgraded units as I would like, but what are you going to do? I think it's worth actually going in detriment a little bit right now because I'm going to be taking cities, and that'll give me a large amount of gold that'll help pay for this war. Although I might change my mind once I get in his border and start having to pay more. Do I already have a unit going up there? I'll wait next turn and declare war. You know what, I think I already do have... Yeah, I do have one marching up there. Well, whatever, 2 is still a good idea. Oops, both of you can go up here. Okay, I don't know how quickly he can move his units. He has no cities close enough to throw a garrison from one into another. He does not have any mounted units unless he's trading for horses, which he could only do that with Spain, and I doubt Spain would agree with that, considering they don't have a religious bonus with each other. Germany has a wonder that got them all the religious civics, so they're actually in free religion, so they have no state religion. So I can go ahead and assume that Germany is only using iron and copper units, or rather iron and bronze units, for their strategic resources. They don't have ivory, and they don't have horses, so they have no mounted units. So, if I declare war now and move my army right here, next turn when I actually attack the city, they're not going to be able to reinforce it with any new units unless they happen to already have someone nearby, which is unlikely. Frankfurt is probably going to be an easy capture and be our foothold for getting into their country. After that, I want to take Berlin and Cologne. If they'll capitulate after that, I'll let them capitulate. If they don't capitulate after that, I'm probably going for Hamburg, as I can make it into a minor production city. If they still don't capitulate, Munich, they'll definitely capitulate by then. I have Essen last, because it seems like the least useful city to me. But they'll definitely capitulate by the time I've taken Hamburg, I think. I very highly doubt I'll have to take Munich. Yeah, I think that's my game plan going into this. Wish me luck, everybody. It's time to declare war. Okay, we're paying 42 gold a turn. I'm actually going to lower that rate, yeah. And before we end our turn and continue to see what happens... I feel like there was something else I was going to do. Nope, I'm forgetting. Okay, let's do this. An attack already. They snuck in there and attacked my units who are alone there. That's fine. I don't mind them being there, because my longbowmen there are not going to get conquered. I should probably put up... well, I'd have to whip it out. Ah, fuck it. If I lose that city, I lose that city. It's a terrible city anyway. When looking at the Wonder List, I did see that Berlin has the Angkor Wat, which makes me want to take Berlin very quickly. The Angkor Wat, until rifling, which is not for a while, gives every German city 25 extra defense that I have to catapult down. That wastes a lot of my time and causes me to have to spend even more time catapulting, so they have even more time to reinforce their city with units. Okay, well, we took that down pretty easily just because we have so many. This is gonna be loud, everybody. It could have been louder. Okay. Start throwing catapults. Oh. That's rough. I took them down fast with that. And can we get a free kill here? Probably. We lost our medic. Okay, well, who's our next highest experience guy? You, but you've spent a lot. Okay, you know what? You have a lot and you haven't spent any. Always want to farm that experience on, we can separate them. Always want to farm experience if you can on your medic. Because a strong medic speeds up a war a lot and gives them less time to reinforce. We can go ahead and do that.